welcome to Story Time. My name is Liz, and as always, it's lovely to have you with me today, wherever you are watching in the big, wide, round world. I hope you are feeling good today. I am feeling good because I'm going to read a fabulous story with you today. And today we're going to find out and read about two animals. One is incredibly small, and the other is incredibly large, probably larger than my arms. I wonder what those two animals could be. What do you think? I wonder what will be the small animal. Can you have a think? Let me know if you know any small animals. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant. I knew you'd know. And so we've looked at the small animal. Let's look at the large animal. What do you think that animal could be? Oh, yeah, good suggestions. Excellent, yes. Well, today we're going to be reading all about a snail and the whale. And I've read the title of the story already. The Snail and the Whale. And we can see the rather large whale. There he is. And can you see him? I have to get the book really close. Can you see the snail? Yeah, well done. It's on the tail of the whale. Oh, I'm rhyming already. And what else can we see on the front cover? Because remember, the front cover often, the pictures on the front cover often give us a clue about what's going to happen in the story. Yes, we can see some beautiful birds and fishes jumping in the water. And to me, it looks like we're in a hot country because we've got some gorgeous palm trees there, some greenery and some mountains. And, of course, the ocean. Now, I'm going to read at the top. We've got the author and illustrator's name, and the author's name, I think, is a name that we're going to know. It's Julia Donaldson, and the illustrator is Axel Scheffler. So let's find out what happens in The Snail and the Whale. I think it's going to rhyme. Okay. This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big grey blue humpback whale. This is the rock as black as soot, and this is the snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And she gazed, she sniffed and sighed. Oh, the sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, Be quiet, don't wriggle, sit still, stay put. But the tiny sea snail sighed and sniffed, then cried, I've got it, I'll hitch a lift. This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, Lift wanted around the world. This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpbacked whale, immensely long, who sang to the snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpbacked whale. He held it out to the starlit sea and said to the sail, Come sail with me. This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands, with fiery mountains and golden sands. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where stripy fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam round the whale and the snail on the tail. This is the sky, so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with a thunderstorm, with zigzag lighting and flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. As she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand, she gazed and gazed, amazed by it all, and she said to the whale, "I feel so small." But then came the day. The whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making him swim too close to the shore. This is the tide slipping away. And this is the whale lying beached in a bay. "Quick, off the sand, back to sea," cried the snail. "I can't move on land, I'm too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then, "I've got it," she cried, and she started to crawl. "I must not fail," said the tiny snail. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher holding her chalk, telling the class, "Sit straight, don't talk." This is the board as black as soot. And this is the snail with the itchy foot. "A snail! A snail!" The teacher turns pale. "Look," say the children, "it's leaving a trail." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, "Save the whale." These are the children running from school, fetching the fireman, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting "Hooray!" as the whale and the snail travel safely away. And back to the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, "How tide has flown, and haven't you grown?" And the whale and the snail told their wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves, and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with her looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. And the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled the snail, after snail, after snail. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the grey blue humpbacked whale. Oh. They've all decided to join the whale and the tiny snail on another great adventure. Well done, snail. Quick thinking there to get the whale back into the sea. And sometimes you might hear on the news about beached whales or beached dolphins, beached seals. So do listen out to the news, and because you might hear about some more of the sea animals that have been beached. Sometimes they even beach on the River Thames. Well, I enjoyed reading that story, and I hope you enjoyed listening to it too. And until we see one another again, remember, take care, look after one another, and keep smiling. Bye for now.